What do you want to do today, Lionel? Same thing we do every day. Go get another Buick.
It's a corner of America, a picture from our past. It's quiet towns and rolling hills where time slows down at last. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of the red, white, and blue. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit that we want to share with you.
So I'm driving this not so mint Roadmaster sedan that I picked up. Was not expecting to have to drive it, but U-Haul screwed me on the trailer rental. Called me at very last minute to tell me that they don't have it. So the guy was, since the car is registered and insured, the guy was nice enough to just let me drive it back. And we're hitting traffic because we're coming up on the West Rocks Tunnel. Everybody gets scared. Car's got 119,000 miles. So far I've driven it about, I guess 60 miles, maybe 70 miles from Massachusetts. And it's pretty good. So this thing drives pretty nice. The only thing that I noticed with drivability is the steering has a bit of play in center. So I'm betting probably idler arm, center link, stuff like that. Doesn't look so great in the inside. But, well, you'll see on the outside, it also doesn't look so great. But I think it'll clean up. And, well, we'll see you back at the Hortatorium. All right, made it. Here it is. Another year, another white RMS, right, Dave? Yeah. Only this time it's mine. Almost a year to the. I think next week would be 1 year from when Dave got that '95 white Roadmaster sedan. So here's this. As you can see, very dirty. It's been doing a lot of sitting. So the owner bought this car in like 2010 or 2008, had 28,000 miles on it, and he didn't really take good physical care of the thing, unfortunately. And the last few years, I guess, it's just mostly been sitting outside. It doesn't really get used much, although he kept the registration up on it and everything. He just barely used it. So it looks like a real mess. But as you might notice, the quarter panels exist. As a matter of fact, there's virtually no rust to speak of. That's just a little paint chip. Nothing going on there. So we're going to get this car cleaned up with the power washer and see just exactly how messed up the outside of the car is. I think it's going to look pretty good once it's power washed. I really do. Let's take a quick look at the interior. So the interior is, well, it's not exactly above reproach, but it's not too bad. The fabric on the seats is beautiful red velour. Look at that. Velour. Red velour. It's in great shape. The door panel is actually in pretty decent shape. It's actually not cracked at all, amazingly. The armrest lid is absolutely destroyed. Look at this. I've never seen this bad before. It is literally just a fabric sack with a bunch of broken pieces inside of it. Glove box latch is missing. The car is pretty dirty inside. The guy had a Great Dane at some point, I guess, and there's a lot of dog fur on this thing. Take a look at the back seat. A little damage there. Back seat looks all right, considering a dog rode around in here a lot. Ugh. God, look at all that dog hair. Yeah, that's going to have to be some serious cleaning. Take a look on the other side. Door panel looks good. Looks like it's been slobbered on by a dog. Oh, there's a little rip in the seat cover. That's actually ripped at a hem. It looks like it should be able to fix that. This is disgusting. Hopefully this cleans up all right. A lot of dog fur in this car, Dave.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah. And this seat is good, except this is it's a weird. It's a power recliner on this car, and it doesn't work. Like when you do this, you hear it like does stuff, but it doesn't actually fucking move. So hopefully we can get that to work because it's reclined pretty far back, and I'm not into the whole gangsta lean thing. Dashboard, weird. Looks like somebody sprayed paint stripper all over it the way it's wrinkling like that. Very odd. Not cracked though. I'll probably just put one of those dash carpets on it. But this looks like it should be able to be repainted. I guess you gotta strip it or sand it or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never seen it do this before.
I know, right? Now the headliner is okay. Visors and headliner are good. The C-pillars are not. Those will have to be redone. Look at all the freaking goddamn clips holding that together. Ugh. So this car, I found the window sticker for the car. It's actually pretty cool. It was in the glove box. I'll show you real quick here. This car cost $23,280. And this is a very early 92. You know, they started the Roadmaster sedan as a 1992, but they sold them in sometime in mid 1991 or early 1991 as a 1992 model. I'll have to look at some of my stuff to see exactly when they released the 1992 Roadmaster sedan, but it was pretty early in the year. And you can see here it was delivered to Marlowe Werner Pontiac Buick GMC truck in Punta Gorda, Florida. So that would explain the wrinkles on the dashboard from the heat and the sun. And that would also explain all this. This is really in rough shape. This is really peeled. The funny thing is, Dave, you remember on the 94 Roadmaster sedan you had? Did it have any trim here at all? I thought the glass went right to the edge. I don't remember there being trim on that car. That white 94. That was a bare top, just like this.
Yeah, I don't think it had it.
Yeah, I know. So this is some weird earlier TBI thing. We'll have to look at some pictures. Anyway, I'm thinking what I might do with this is to cut all this faded clear plastic off, and then just paint this with some black Plasta Dip or something. So anyway, power antenna's broke. So the radio won't tune anything. Oh yeah, I forgot. We can't get into the trunk. It's like the key it fits, but it doesn't turn. And it works the doors. Dave, look what I found though. Look. I found the remote. I don't know, I haven't tried it. No, but it doesn't do anything. Maybe the battery's dead. But if this works, maybe we can get into the trunk. Yeah, so we don't even know what's in the trunk. It's a secret. It's got two decent tires on the back. Black walls, unfortunately. I thought maybe they were white walls flipped around, but they're not. You gotta have white walls on your Roadmaster sedan. All the belt molding, every piece of it is missing. However, all the chrome seems to be okay. Now, the only rust that I see on the whole car is on the bottom of each B-pillar. There's a spot looks just like this on the other side, so that might need a little attention. Let's see if we can pop the hood, take a look. The hood so far has been a two-person job to get open. Let's see if I can do it single-handedly. There's the old Fonzarelli trick here. Nope. Dave, see if you can help me with this. This will work sometimes if you pull the handle and then hit this. Hey! Nope. God damn it. Yeah, you can see there's a fucking dent in the hood from where someone's been doing it. God damn it.
You get a light behind the hood or whatever.
Like right here?
Behind.
Right here. Try it again. My hands get sore. Yeah, why don't you try it? Maybe you got the touch. You got the Fonz touch, maybe, huh? Okay. Ah, geez, you got it right away. Hey! So underside here, or under hood here, doesn't look too bad, honestly, from a car that's lived most of its life up in Springfield, Massachusetts. The fender liners are there. Rad support's got some surface rust on it. That's not so bad. I looked at the, actually we'll take a look underneath the car real quick. It's not bad. It's not bad. Look at that. Rad support exists. And under the car, it's just got, you know, it's got your, what I would expect to be usual rust on a car. Let's take a look at the under the floor pan area. And you can see it's actually remarkably clean on the floor pans. I guess they have an undercoating from the factory or something. Yeah, look at that. Not bad. Let's take a look on the passenger side. Oh yeah, there's a dent here. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's one smaller dent here. I'm hoping these can be pushed out. Once we get into the trunk, which we cannot, let's take a look. There's the old catalytic converter. Looks good under here. Yeah. Honestly, the fact that this car is reasonably rust-free for New England is, honestly, this would be rust-free for New Jersey at this point, you know, where I'm from. But Northeast, this is relatively rust-free. So the guy was asking $700. I got it for $5, just because it needs a little bit more love than I sort of thought. Also, it had more miles. Originally, we thought it had lower. The guy had thought it had lower miles on it, but yeah, 119,000. So anyway, drove this car about 80 miles and drove beautifully. The only issue, like I said earlier, is the steering's got play in it. But other than that, I think rode nice. I think the shocks are all right. It's going to need 2 front tires. That one's dry rotted, and the other side, I don't know, that's some old piece of junk tire. So, all right, we'll see what this thing looks like. Well, maybe we'll get into the trunk, or maybe we'll wash it. We'll see. Come on, yeah, roll dice. That's sitting for a few minutes in there. All right, well, we washed the Roadmaster, what, 3 or 4 times? Yeah, I mean, first we tried the power washer. That didn't really work that well. I mean, it took some of the bulk of it off, but still left a black stain on the paint where the mildew or mold or whatever it was. So then we tried boat wash. Figured, you know, bolts get mildewy as heck, right? But I mean, that did take the fish blood off, but it didn't help with the mold. So then Dave tried spraying on LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner, which is a fantastic product that we've used for a lot of stuff in the past, and that worked. So we power washed for all the, basically the dirt was all in the crevices, from dirt and mold and mildew, like where the belt molding meets the door and stuff like that. And actually you can see this is still oozing out a little bit. There's still little bits of dirt and things that came out when we rinsed it. But overall, it did a pretty good job. Got rid of the stains on the front edge of the hood for the most part. And it's just one little tiny remnant of it there. So we just put that in. We scrubbed it in certain places with a bristle brush where we had to try and get that stuff off. All the crevices are nice and cleaned out. So yeah, so we power washed all the crevices and then followed it up with spot application of the LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner spray. And we're noticing there's a lot of line striping paint on the bottom of this car. So I don't know what takes that off. That's some thick stuff. Now let's take a look at the roof. The roof and the trunk lid were real bad. This looks pretty good now, and I'm happy to say that this car is nice and shiny. This thing, I mean, you know, I'll give it a more thorough cleaning at some point in the future as far as real detail cleaning, get into these grooves and get these little leaf stains off and stuff. But for the most part, this car's looking a lot better. I mean, the paint shines, you know. It doesn't look like a total piece of garbage on the outside, of course. But on the inside, man, everywhere you look, there's dog fur. Everywhere you look. So I think it's going to take a lot more work to get the inside cleaned. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Ugh, God. It's a good thing I'm not allergic to dog fur. Anyway, this old RMS is looking much, much better. Got to scrape off that old belt molding tape that's remaining on there. Probably just leave it without any molding on it at all, since obviously you can't really get silver rub strip molding. A little bit, we knocked a piece of paint off here. There was a little bit of a rust bubble. I think there was the Buick badge was here. So nice thing about this color though, this is the same color that my 95 wagon is. And you can touch this up with like appliance paint. It's like such a basic white color. So very happy with the way this turned out. You know, if the guy had just cleaned it himself, maybe he would have got the $700, huh? But as it was, I got the car for $500 just because I really wasn't sure the true condition of it physically. And I think I think when I get to actually cleaning the interior, I'm going to be wishing I paid even less than that for the amount of time I'll probably spend getting it cleaned, right?
I think the biggest challenge is going to be getting in the trunk.
Yeah, we can't get in the freaking trunk. We're thinking we're dealing with a dead trunk release. You know, the actual release in the trunk. And that key, I don't know, doesn't turn in the lock. So we either have to figure out how to pick a lock or take the rear seat back off and see if we can get any access in there, maybe with some tools or something. I don't know. All right, well, I guess that'll be the next video. So happy motoring until then.